This video demonstrates how to query the SQL output file using Modelkit. So first we have to add the output SQLite object. This is the object that makes EnergyPlus output the SQL file. So we'll have to save that and then recompose our models. So if we open up a command window and compose our models again and simulate them, and when it's done simulating, if you go into the runs folder, there's now this instance-out SQL file. Now if you go back to the Modelkit folder in the results folder, there's this file called results.txt. This results.txt file has these different SQL query commands that Modelkit uses to extract output data from the SQL file. So this first one is net site energy, and the next one is net source energy, and then there's total energy, and then there's all the end uses of heating, cooling, interior lighting, etc. So if we just leave this how it is and go into the bin folder, we can just double click on make results, and it will query that SQL file for every SQL file that's in the runs folder. So in this case, we have a base and prop instance-out SQL file. So now if we go back to the results folder, there's a new file called results.csv, which is a CSV output file of all of those output values that we requested in the results.txt file. So going back to the results text file, you're probably wondering, how do you derive these SQL query paths in order to extract that output data? And so if you look at the HTML output from one of these models, you can kind of see where this comes from. So there's a report called Annual Building Performance Summary, and that's the first field here without spaces, and then there's a slash entire facility, end uses, so for entire facility, and then if we go down to end uses, so that's pulling data from this table. So I'm looking at the HTML output file because the HTML output file is a very human readable output file, and you could create a program that parses through either the HTML output or the CSV output file, but the most computer readable database file is an SQL file. So that's what Modelkit uses to extract this output data. But now you still might be thinking, well, why are there no spaces? How would you know that the annual building utility performance summary has no spaces and then the next field has a space? And then so we can actually take a look at the SQL file itself. We just need to install some sort of database browser. The one that I'm using is this free program called DB Browser. And when you open DB Browser, you can just navigate to that SQL file. And now if we go to the Browse Data tab and select the tabular data with strings, you can see these same fields. So there's a report name. This is where you get that syntax for this text file. So if we look annual building performance summary, and then in entire facility, site and source energy, entire facility, site and source energy, and we have all of these fields that we can use. So in combination of looking at this SQL file in the DB browser and looking at the example SQL queries, you can see how you can extract any data that's in any of the output files from this SQL file. So in the next video, I'll demonstrate how to use this Modelkit SQL query function to extract the California TDV energy results using the TDV factors CSV file in combination with this SQL query function. So thanks for watching.